Hello and welcome back to Robinsunne Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne and we are here to talk about snowflakes. Listen, please like this video if you like it, comment because I'd love to hear from you, subscribe and share to all your friends who might enjoy this. And today we're going to talk about a comment I got on my last video. And that was about making snowflakes. Sorry, I'm putting the pin in my glue. She asked me to make a video not just on paper cuts like we made last time, but specifically on six-pointed paper cuts that would really look like a snowflake. So I just started cutting, and you remember that we had made this one last time, and you see how it's like I pretty much take up the whole space of the square, and it's sort of active between the negative and positive space, you know, all throughout the square. It's pretty busy, but I think this is actually a very effective paper cut. And I really like this. So I went from sort of the mind of doing this to doing this one. Now, this to me just looks noisy and it doesn't look like a snowflake. So I looked up snowflakes and they have this wonderful photography now, macro photography, where you can sort of see a little eensy snowflake, but see it blown up under a microscope. And it took me a while. These all are folded for 6 points, but I wasn't getting a real snowflake feel, and I finally got one right here. And you really, the 6 points really stand out, and the space between them, which is also on a fold just like the points are, I'll show you that in a minute, is a lot lower. You know, if this is the outside ring, this point is a distance away from the outside. And you see here both the point and the middle of the point are the same distance away from the center. And I think it just works out better if this interior, the middle point, is lower. So it's finally beginning to figure out. Then I did it like the old regular kind. And again, that's just too noisy. The point, which should be the hearts, is surrounded by these leaves. Yeah, it's just noisy. I didn't quite get it. And then I did this one, and then this one. So I finally started figuring out that the point has to be the most important thing. And yeah, I did this one. I think this is really effective. It's really sweet. This one's kind of cool, even though the point, which should be here, is... Yeah. See, the thing about a real snowflake is that they're made in layers of ice. So there's the bottom, you know, point that comes out, and then there's sort of a layer on top of it. So you get the pattern of the outside plus these seams and inner cores which lay on top. So they make shadow marks in the photography, and it makes it look really complex, but still those 6 points are the most important thing. So this one doesn't work because you don't get the 6 points as the big deal. This one I thought is interesting. Do you know that there are 130 different like styles of snowflakes, and one of them is actually a cylinder. It's some are like plates, and so actually they're not as decorative as this, but they're just sort of a hexagram, which I thought was really cool. This one I thought came out pretty well. So I was really, actually I really love this one. I was really beginning to get it, 6 points. And this is what I ended up with last night. And I like this a lot because you get this cool kind of tall crystal, like a clear quartz point in the world of crystals. And I think crystals are made, the chemistry is different, but the way that they're made is, yeah, I could be totally wrong about that, but I think they're the same. Anyway, so I like that one. And this one, which I just did, I wanted to test myself with a bigger piece of paper. And you sure get the 6 points. However, this rounded stuff isn't really like what an actual snowflake looks like. So anyway, I thought we could just play around a bit. In my last video, I wanted to tell you, and I forgot, I got distracted by myself. You can get these packages. They're like this. I've probably used up half the amount of paper that was in here to begin with. This is one kind. And, this paper tends to be colored on one side and white on the other. Somewhere I have an item for being a ruler. Where did that go? I can't see that one. Let's use this one. Try not to make a mess. Yeah, this is just shy of 6 inches. You can also get origami paper, and this is my favorite company, AITOH, Ito origami paper. I just love their stuff the best. It comes from Japan. It's imported by them. They give you some instructions on origami, and this paper is enormous. So you can make, a really huge snowflake. And they all come, this is 9 and a little bit more than 3/4. Is this a metric sheet? Is that why it's measuring? Well, it's almost 25 centimeters. And these are squares, and we're going to work with little ones, which I think are about 1/3 of this, or maybe 1/4. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you, and I wanted to tell you about this favorite company of mine. You can get it in all kinds of sizes. These tend to go for about $10. This size, a full package, is about $10. This I think was, 14, maybe 18. So, it's a little bit of money, but it's so much fun. Did I use up all the whites? No. Okay, so Robinsunne, focus, dear. Let's get down to the business of cutting snowflakes. So this is the trick that I figured out. We need to cut this fold this paper. So our first trick is using origami paper. Our second trick is making sure that these folds are really super sharp and precise. And then we have to figure out how to see if we fold it in half and in half again, we get 4 points. But we need 6 points for a snowflake. So what I did was I pinched it right here. Let's see, to make a mark there. And I also pinched it on top to make a mark right there. Now, I'm right-handed. I suspect that if you're left-handed, you're going to want to do the opposite thing that I'm about to do. So because I'm right-handed, I'm going to fold the left over here and make a little pinch mark. So this would be 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So it's at 1/4. So we're going to fold up right at that fold mark. And I wanted to do this for you. Pencil. I need a pencil. I'm not going to find a pencil. We'll try this. Sorry, noise. So here's my 1/2 inch tick mark. And there's my 1/4 inch tick mark. And there's the tick mark that's right. All right, can you see that okay? So we're going to fold it up. This is, sorry, discombobulation. All right, so this is the open side and this is the folded side. So we're going to bend in the middle of the folded side. And you see how the fold, I'm really hoping the light's going to catch this for you. The fold, if I do it right here, it's pointed straight at the 1/4 tick mark. You want to shove it over a little, like that much further on. So it's kind of at a 1/4 of that space-ish. This is not precise science. And if somebody knows of a better way to mark out a 1/3, let's do that. Then we'll open this up. So you have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And then if you open it up all the way, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. So that's what we need. So once we are at this stage, we fold the front to the front. And again, we're doing folded edge to folded edge. And we're using this trick of making sure that all these folds at every new fold, we make sure everything is, the folds are all nice and crisp. So we folded the front to the front, and we're going to fold the back to the back. Again, folded edge to folded edge. And if I were to unfold this, I would have 12 sections here. So we only need 6 points. So I will describe that to you. Now, do you see how not all of this space is being used? So the lowest folded edge on this side is here. The lowest folded edge, complete, is there. So what I do is I cut across. You don't really have to do this. It just makes it a lot simpler for me so that this is even at the top. Now, one of these edges is a little longer than the other. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to have my 6 points are only on one side. You don't need, this is the low point and this is the high point. So let's do something kind of bold and a little bit simple. going to do this just because I really want you to come along with what's going on here. See, that's what we just did. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, that's pretty cool looking, isn't it? Right. Let's put it back together though, because, you know, we have to make it more decorative than that. But I think actually this is going to end up to be a good cut. She says, knocking on wood. So it's kind of interesting. A real snowflake, you can see the pattern because the pattern is solid and it differentiates it from its background. With these paper snowflakes, we're actually cutting holes, and a real snowflake doesn't have, you know, like holes through it so much. So it's just a part of my learning process here. I all these years I've been cutting just paper cuts for the design, not to try to be snowflakes so much. And I didn't realize how different, I don't know, I didn't really study snowflakes. I didn't get how different they are from the paper cuts I've been making. So it's a good thing to know. If you make some of these and you get some very different, that's very close there. You get some really different outcomes than what I'm showing here. Now again, I'm holding so close to where I'm cutting. Please, please be careful with your fingers. And I haven't talked to my sister about who said charm rings. But if you don't hold it pretty closely, papers will kind of shimmy around and move on you. Okay, now's the part where I, in a very type A way, and anybody who knows me knows that I'm not really such a type A person. But there's some things that I do, especially here in my studio, that it's just, this is what I believe is the correct way to do things. So I bend these, each fold backwards as I go. It's a little on the tedious side, but it really helps things stay flat. Oh, and I haven't said this in a long time. If you ever really need these to stay flat, you can put them on an ironing board, put a piece of just office paper on top, and iron it on a very low heat, and it tends to take out all the little marks. You know, I don't know, can you see that there? Can you see that there are little fold marks there? The other thing you can do to get these little fold lines out is using the flat of your fingernail, again with the tedium, go over all of the little folds, and it kind of squishes some of those flat. Anyway, what do you think? Let's get your piece of paper. I'm putting these under the paper covers because it keeps them flat to the surface. So there. That's pretty good. I mean, you get a real sense of yeah, what am I trying to do here? Oh dear, I'm taking a long time, but they take a while. Fold it in half, make the little fold indentations, and then again, I'm right-handed, so I'm folding on the left. My guess is that if you're left-handed, it might be easier on the right. And I go to fold to the 25% mark and then squish it over a bit. And somehow miraculously that turns into a third. It's very exciting how these things happen. And your eye, once you make your first 1,000 or so, your eye will help inform you about how much to the outside to go. I can't remember when I started making snowflakes as an artistic design, not just a wintertime, isn't that cute in your living room window kind of a thing. So I'm checking for the lowest point. I'm going to cut right across there. I know that by the time I was about 31, which was quite a few years ago, I was designing paper cuts. I wasn't making, January snowflakes. I think maybe I'm trying to be too perfect. This isn't going to look like a paper snowflake, won't look like an ice snowflake because ice forms in a different way than paper does. So I think I'm working too hard here. Ooh-ee. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. It's so close. I'm trying to do that inner outer petal thing. Only shaping it like a crystal point. So I'm trying to do like this. Where are we? Here we are. See how there's sort of an inner petal and an outer petal? Well, I'm trying to do that, only to do it on this long shape to make it form like a clear quartz crystal. Ooh-ee. Again, my favoritist scissors for doing this work are these little Fiskars. They're just so strong and sharp. And it makes these little seemingly impossible cuts. Possible! Yay! This is so wonderful that this worked and I didn't cut through something. To start out, you could use a larger piece of paper, like this 6-inch one. I think you can buy these papers. I think my local art store, which is my favorite place to get them, because they have the Ito brand. And you can buy them in packs that are all one color. I know you can buy them in multicolors, but they're always colors you don't like so much and you don't use very often. And then they're colors that you love, like I love blues. All right, let's tuck this one in. Let's see what we think. Ooh, see? Doesn't this look like a crystal? So, this is so silly. This is a really narrow cut. Yes, the whole Taipei thing comes out in quirky little places in my life. Well, my dearies, so this is my best shot. Please like this video if you like this video. And I wish you great happiness making wonderful snowflakes in your life. And now, you know what? This is my blessing for you today. Oh, somebody said yes, I really have to remake this blessing diamond video. This is my blessing for you today. Feel really good about yourself. And where you have little quirky type A places or little quirky type B places, you know, like, let's really love these parts of ourselves that kind of go off the deep end and make, I mean, please, in the all these adult years that I've been making art paper cuts, I have made probably at the very least 100,000 paper cuts, but that doesn't actually sound like enough. It could be multiple hundreds of thousands of paper cuts. Yes, we all have our little spaces where our dare I say freak flag flies. And you know, especially if nobody's getting hurt by making a lot of snowflakes or by whatever it is that you do, potentially to excess, but it's lovely and beautiful and artistic and it's fun. And yeah, let's just madly love ourselves right there. So may you have snowflakes and blessings and blessing diamonds, and may you have a lot of fun. I'll see you later. Bye.